Mr. President, distinguished speakers on either side, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first warmly congratulate the Oxford Union for completing the bicentenary of its vibrant debating tradition of free speech, which began in 1823. It's a great and enviable track record of which all of us are very proud. Salute and kudos to all of you. In today's debate, I rise to speak on behalf of the opposition. I am deeply convinced that Modi's India is on the right path, inverted commas, only so far as the interests of the Adanis, Ambanis are concerned, and the interests of the rank communal and fascistic RSS is concerned. I firmly assert that Modi's India is on the worst possible path so far as the interests of the overwhelming majority of its 1.4 billion people is concerned. Modi's path is in fact the path of destruction of all the noble values of democracy, secularism, sovereignty, federalism, and socio-economic justice that are ingrained in India's constitution. Values that are a result of India's glorious 2-century-long bitter struggle against British imperialism. And when I talk about India's struggle, freedom struggle against British imperialism, I mean India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. All of them were one country and all of them fought together against British imperialism. This freedom struggle led to millions of martyrs, from the first war of Indian independence in 1857 to the Jallianwala Bagh massacre in 1919, to the Great Bengal famine in 1943, to the horrifying communal partition of India in 1947, to name only a few. I'm mentioning all this. Please allow me to remind you all that the ruling classes of Britain have never once apologized for these millions of deaths of Indians and also for their unprecedented loot of India over the last 2 centuries. Let us briefly see the results of the 9-year-long Modi rule under the following 3 major heads. Number 1, danger to the economy. Number 2, danger to democracy. Number 3, danger to secularism and national unity. Regarding the economy, what have the Modi regime's economic policies in the last 9 years led to? First, the disastrous demonetization drive in November 2016 sucked out about 86% of the cash in the country in just a few hours. This destroyed the economy, particularly given the further shock of the goods and services tax reforms in 2017. As the official narratives of blocking, terror financing, and unearthing black money proved to be bankrupt, the government shifted the goalpost. And it said that we have done this demonetization only for the cashless economy. But there also you see data show that cash is back again as seen in the cash to GDP ratio. So you achieved nothing. Nothing. 100 people died and thousands and thousands and lakhs of people were thrown out of jobs as a result of this demonetization. Lot of material is there on this. 4 years later, the sudden countrywide COVID lockdown in March 2020, with just a 4-hour notice, the bankrupt COVID vaccine policy and the terrible state of the public health system led to the unprecedented misery of millions. All of you have seen the bodies floating in the river Ganga, thousands of them. I think all of us have seen this in 2020-21. And while the Modi government officially estimated COVID deaths in India through the end of 2021 as just 481,000, the World Health Organization of the United Nations estimated that number of deaths as 10 times higher in India. That is 4.7 million, the highest in the world. The prestigious British medical journal, Lancet, which all of you are aware, that estimated the deaths in India to be 6 to 7 times the official count. This is what Modi achieved. It was said here, 24 countries, vaccines were distributed, etc. But your greatest number of people died in your own country. That is the point that we have to understand. Poverty, tremendous increase from 60 to 134 million. I'm not going to go into great details because there's lack of time. Total number of Indians in jobs sank from 440 million in 2013, 1 year before Modi came to power, to 380 million in 2021. 60 million less. This is the thing. Women in the workforce had fallen from 36% in 2013 to 18% in 2019, even before the pandemic lockdowns. And today, in February 2021, this figure plummeted to only 9.24% women in the workforce, which is the worst that India has ever achieved. The 2022 Global Hunger Index ranked India at 107 out of 121 countries in the world. Last year, the rank was 101, and a year before it was 94. The National Crime Records Bureau, which is directly under the Union Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, has estimated that over 100,000 farmers and agricultural workers in India have been forced to commit suicide due to indebtedness in the last 8 years of the Modi government. These are all official figures. Therefore, price rise, etc., all that I'm not going into. But on the other hand, there has been an engineered transfer of incomes and wealth to a few at the top of the pyramid. According to The Economist London, a very famous thing, all of you are aware of it. According to The Economist, Mr. Mukesh Ambani's net worth increased by 350% between 2016 to 2020 and rose to 7.18 trillion rupees. One capitalist. While Gautam Adani, the other one, a great favorite of Mr. Narendra Modi, his net worth increased by 750% during the same period and rose to rupees 5.06 trillion rupees. More about Adani, I think, is your favorite. So let us talk a little more. When the Modi government assumed office in 2014, the Adani Group had a market capitalization of only $7 billion in 2014. And now, in 2022, it zoomed to $200 billion within 7 years, 8 years. And Adani in the international ranking, when Modi came to power, Mr. Adani was 609 number in the world. In 2022, he became number 2. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? He became number 2 within 8 years of the Modi regime. Until, of course, the Hindenburg exposures, bless him, bless Hindenburg, those exposures in January 2023 pricked his inflated balloon, and then the Adani balloon started coming down. So this is the thing. But in spite of revelations of massive wrongdoings, the Modi regime is still protecting Adani by stonewalling any parliamentary inquiries against the Adani Group. According to the Oxfam India Inequality Report 2023, called The Survival of the Richest, Darwin talked about survival of the fittest. The Oxfam talks about survival of the richest. And here it said the top 1% people in India hold 40% of the country's wealth. Top 5% own 62% of the wealth, and the bottom 50%, that is 700 million, own only 3% of India's total wealth. This is the Oxfam report, international, in 2023. Then, for lack of time, I'm not going into great details. Otherwise, it can go on and on. But one thing, on top of that, the entire country is being sold to these corporates. You name it, and it is being sold. You name it. And today, what is the result? You must have seen that railway accident in Odisha. Just last week, more than 300 innocent people died because the Modi government is starving the railway industry because it's a public sector, privatizing it, etc. He's starting Vande Bharat trains every day on those same hazardous tracks on which railway accidents are happening day after day. So this is one situation that is there. And here we have a situation. I'm not going to go into more details. The second thing, danger to democracy. Two more issues are remaining. Danger to democracy. One of the main architects of the Constitution of India, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, had written this just before independence came. He said, if Hindu Raj does become a fact, it will no doubt be the greatest calamity for this country. It is a menace to liberty, equality, and fraternity. On that account, it is incompatible with democracy. Hindu Raj must be prevented at any cost. This is the architect of the Indian Constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, writing. And the attacks on democracy by the BJP-RSS government in India are legendary. Draconian use of the Sedition Act, National Security Act, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act of the CBI, ED, Income Tax, other central agencies, etc. Hundreds of innocent human rights activists, intellectuals, students, and journalists have been thrown into jail for years without charge sheets being filed against them. This is the reality in India today. And the removal of opposition state governments in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Goa, and some northeastern states through a combination of corrupt money power and ED CBI threats is another characteristic of the BJP RSS murder of democracy. All constitutional bodies, here mention was made of the judiciary, Parliament, judiciary, election commission are being subverted. The VDEM Institute has called India an electoral autocracy. Freedom House has described India as now only partly free. And International Idea has said that India scores at the level of 1975 when a formal emergency was in place. Reporters Without Borders, an independent body, has placed India at number 160 out of 180 countries in the World Press Freedom Index. That is democracy for us, which we should understand. Last point, danger to secularism and national unity. The grave danger of the Modi regime to secularism and national unity is seen from the regular attacks and lynching of the Muslim and Christian religious minorities. This is hardly surprising, given Modi's key role in the 2002 horrendous Gujarat communal carnage, where he was the chief minister, that killed nearly 2,000 Muslims, raped hundreds of women, and slaughtered even children. The BBC documentary on the Gujarat Inferno was banned in India. However, thousands of students in India across university campuses broke the ban and screened that documentary nevertheless in their campuses. Salute to all of them. Communalism, my friends, is a legacy that the RSS has faithfully picked up from nowhere else but from British colonialism and its dictum of divide and rule. That's what the British did. And that's what the RSS have picked up now. And therefore, it is no accident that all three communal organizations in India at that time, before freedom, the Muslim League of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the Hindu Mahasabha of Savarkar, and the RSS of Hedgewar and Golwalkar, strictly stayed away from the glorious freedom struggle of the Indian people against British imperialism. The Hindu Mahasabha and RSS were directly involved in the dastardly assassination of Mahatma Gandhi. Nathuram Godse and his whole lot of people who were there, they were members of the RSS and of the Hindu Mahasabha. This cannot be challenged. This cannot be challenged. You can make out all the details from this from anywhere. One of the most shocking recent instances is that of the BJP-led Gujarat state government setting free 11 criminals convicted of killing 14 Muslims during the Gujarat Inferno of 2002, gang raping a then 19-year-old pregnant woman called Bilkis Banu, and killing her baby daughter also. This was done on the 75th anniversary of India's freedom, 15th August 2022, and on the eve of the Gujarat State Assembly elections, clearly in order to sharpen communal polarization. CAA, Kashmir, etc., all these points. But at the same time, the Manusmriti, attack on Dalits, attack on women, attack on Adivasis, all this also forms a very, very important thing. You have seen that restless struggle. Very recently, the most striking recent instance which has rocked the country is the agitation by Olympic medalist women wrestlers against sexual harassment by the then president of the Wrestling Federation of India, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, a BJP member of parliament. That is going on last 1 month. And in spite of the wrestlers conducting an agitation, for over a month in Delhi, which got mass support from many sections, the accused BJP MP has still not been arrested. On the contrary, the wrestlers were manhandled and arrested on the very same day that the new parliament building was inaugurated by Narendra Modi. This is a fact. The last point, my friends, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's aura of invincibility is being eroded in recent years. In the last 3 years, the BJP has been soundly defeated and has received setbacks in the states of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Punjab, Bihar, Delhi Municipal Corporation, which it controlled for 15 years, some northeastern states, and recently in Himachal Pradesh and Karnataka. These are all the states where it has lost. And therefore, here, if most of the opposition parties unite, secular opposition parties, if people's struggles around the real socio-economic issues are intensified, and most important, if the RSS-BJP attempts at communal polarization are fought tooth and nail, it is surely possible that the Modi-Shah-led BJP-RSS regime can and will be defeated in the coming general election next year, and the people of India will be saved from a dark and fascistic future. Let us all, my dear friends, target all our energies towards that end. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. Long live revolution.